Yo, what's good, guys? Trade recap for today. Um, I ended up catching 333 points on NQ. I'll break it down right here. I took one L and I took one dub. Um, yeah, it was a pretty good day. Not really happy about the L I took. It was pretty stupid. But yeah. So let's get into it. Coming into the day, start on the 4 hour on both charts. Okay, so ES is delivering from this 4 hour fair value gap, and coming into open, it's delivering off this hourly fair value gap right there. NQ hourly, not much is happening, just consolidation. We have some low resistance liquidity right here that I'm looking to get targeted. And then we have low resistance on ES right here. 15-minute chart. We have this London low that looks like a pretty good draw, NYPM low, and then we have the weekly low from last week. That looks like a good draw. So yeah, bearish bias coming into open. We're in this 15-minute fair value gap. Trying to see what happens there. And yeah, ES really has no defense to the downside. So yeah, it literally just started dumping, no entries off open. And so at this point, ES had taken out all of its draws and liquidity, and so, or not all of them, but it left the PM low and the weekly low, and so I was hoping that we could get. I thought this long looked pretty good, but in hindsight, it was pretty horrible. But yeah, so I basically did this, and yeah, it was just, I'm not even going to put the TP because it was just a bad trade. But the reason I think this failed was because ES didn't inverse this 2-minute gap yet, so I didn't have full confirmation, and we also didn't have any like market structure on the 5-minute. We didn't have any like, where's the CISD on the 5-minute? Up here, bro. Like, we got nothing. So that's why it was a bad trade. Not to mention, we still possibly have draws lower on ES to hit. But yeah, that got stopped out. Pretty horrible trade. I'm pretty disappointed that I took that. And then we had formed this 15-minute gap. And I was hoping to get shorts off of it, but we just edged it, and so I missed it, and we just dumped. But it wasn't all bad. As you can see, we keep having look, ES is making higher highs or higher lows, while NQ is making lower lows. So there's a bit of a divergence there. But I saw the super clean singular 5-minute iFVG on NQ, and I saw that ES had been gaining some strength, and the shorts look exhausted. You can even tell on NQ. We have market structure here as well now. So if we got this inversion, I was willing to take it. So right there, got my retests tagged in. Little choppy right here, but it's all good. We got our CISD. And something I liked about this trade was that when I was taking my entry, ES had already gotten its CISD, so I really liked that about this trade. And I liked our drawn liquidity being at least the 15-minute gap on ES or NQ. ES had equal highs resting at the 15-minute gap, so I knew that we were due for that at least. And NQ, we had relative equal highs at the 15-minute. So yeah, so just let this play out. yeah, that chop was kind of annoying, but it finally played out. And then I ended up scaling at the 15-minute gap on NQ. But as you can see, ES is just ripping through its 15-minute gap. So, but then we get a bit of a rejection. And I believe we had, no, we didn't. So yeah, this looks pretty good now. I was watching ES and NQ. They both inversed their 5-minute gaps, which was kind of concerning. But I wasn't really too afraid because I knew for a fact that the draw was still higher. And, my scale was actually pretty crazy. It was at 800 and I was up 130 points, so it was a pretty good area to scale. I saw this 1-minute iFVG on ES. Right here we inversed it and I was like, okay, looks like we can continue higher. And I really like that we reclaimed the 5-minute to be bullish. Then we had that crazy candle, not sure what that was about, but that was a retest, 1-minute retest, boom. And then from here, straight delivery. I scaled another contract right here when ES took this pre-market high, and then my final scale was at 28K. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention that coming into the day, ES had this unmitigated 15-minute gap. So I was looking at ES for this long. I was looking at ES to hit that 15-minute gap at the same point that we hit the London high or this other draw, like this pre-market high right here, because it's sort of like low resistance. So I was looking at just something that happened at the same time on both of them. So I was looking at NQ to take London high, and at the same time, ideally, ES hits that 15-minute. So, and as you can see, we shifted bullish on ES. So I had a lot of conviction because, like, on the higher time frame, we shifted bullish. So on a break of structure, we got to make a higher high. This would be the higher high, pull it back here, But yeah, so bang, TP hit, and then we got a bit of a pullback, a bit of a reload, and then bang, exactly what I said. London high on NQ, 15-minute gap on ES, same time. And then it was 12 o'clock right there, so I would have been done for the day no matter what. But if there's one thing I want to do, so yeah, also on that pullback, there was nothing to fear because it was a retrace to that 10-minute fair value gap. I don't usually use the 10-minute, but I mean, can't ignore that. And then yeah, and also I just wasn't really fooled because on NQ it was such a weak close, like right here. I mean, it looks strong, but it's like, I don't know, just market experience has told me that when candles close like this, like, I don't really want to. But yeah, EMAs really gave me conviction there. That 1-minute iFVG really gave me conviction there. And then yeah, so 333-point trade, really happy about that. That first loss was very stupid, but is what it is. Try not to make those mistakes again. But yeah, this trade had all the criteria I was looking for. We had DOL hit on ES. We had CISD on ES first, then on NQ, and we had clean draws to the upside. And singular 5-minute iFVG. And yeah, I really like that we made market structure here. Shorts were clearly exhausted. ES was clearly shifting to a bullish reversal. We were making lower lows on NQ and we were making higher lows on ES. knew we were shifting back bullish, and then yeah, we hit our DOL, London low on ES, and then reversed and hit our 15-minute gap. Yeah, really like this trade. I would consider it A plus for sure. Wish I didn't scale as early, but I mean, that was valid, I feel like, because we are in like a war and stuff, and I didn't really see a 330 point pump happening. But judging off of what happened yesterday and the past 2 days, we've been dumping a lot, so it was definitely doable. Yeah, so I'll catch you guys in the next one. But yeah, it was a good trading day. Staying disciplined, following my rules, and yeah, pretty good.